And then let me see. I am a tech guru here. All right, we are recording.
It says recording on my screen. So
All right, greetings from Somerville. My goodness gracious, Sarah Fisher, who is now on camera and not in person,
yeah.
my guest today. And this is I can't think of. I'm going to say funny, but not funny at all. Sarah was a very recent guest in January of this year, just a few months ago, and we talked about our hopes and dreams. We were both sitting in my apartment in New York City.
So innocent and naive.
And lurking in the darkness. So I thought it would be, again, not funny is not the good word, but you are now home thanks to all the events with this crazy Corona stuff. You are back in Canada, correct?
Yes, that's right.
At your parents' house?
Yep.
It is a little funny.
It was funny for 2 weeks, and then it stopped being funny really quickly.
Now, to refresh everyone's memory, Sarah is a wonderful dancer, an awesome person here in the city with the rest of us all trying to chip away at this crazy entertainment business. And tell us what your timing was. What happened? When did you decide to go home?
Oh my goodness. So basically, once all my jobs stopped,
Okay.
I was like, there's no reason to stay.
Right.
I think that was like mid-March. It was pretty much before things got really crazy.
Okay.
I remember seeing like friends at the grocery stores and some of the shelves were bare. So I thought, maybe not.
Starting to get a little eerie, yeah.
Yeah. And so I actually flew out because my parents were living in Florida taking care of my grandfather.
Oh.
So I was like, well, I'll just go down there for like 2 weeks and like sit in the sunshine and
wait for this to
what a
blow
better
over.
quarantine situation than being in my tiny New York apartment.
Absolutely.
And I got there and 48 hours later, we had like packed the car up and we're going home.
Oh man! And they drove from Florida to Canada?
They drove, yeah. They had driven down because they were going to be there for a couple of months and they wanted to take their golf clubs and all that stuff. So we drove back, and so I was a little bit upset at first. I was like, "You promised me quarantine in sunshine, and you're taking me back to like Canada in the wintertime. How dare you?"
Yeah.
But we were concerned because borders were closing.
Yeah.
So it was like, don't want to get stuck. So yeah, we came home.
Well, that was, I mean, and that was a valid thing. I was actually, I mentioned on a previous podcast, I was in New Zealand when it happened, and then just kept trying. Yeah, it was like one of these things where you kept checking the news to say, can we stay? Like, can I just, or am I, like, should I get the heck out of here?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. So you drive all the way home. How many days did that take?
2. Took 2 days.
Just with your parents?
Yeah, and this whole time it's been me and my mom and my dad.
Now, what was your emotional state in general? I know your parents are lovely.
Let me preface by just saying I love my parents. I love but no grown adult should be living with their parents.
Now,
I haven't really been home in 4 years, maybe even longer because I went away to school. So we're more like looking at 8 years, 9 years. I have never spent this much time with them under their roof.
This is, yeah. Are you have a bedroom still there even, or is it just like, yeah?
No, I'm really blessed actually. They have a big house and we have a backyard with a pool and we live in like suburbia. So there's like, you can go for walks and like we have lots of space. So it was the better option than staying in New York, but
of course, it's a lot.
It's a lot. It's like I am an adult. I make my own choices, and all of a sudden, that doesn't exist. I'm like in an alternate universe.
What is the dynamic? Have you regressed? Are you like their kid again in your mind, or are you trying to be an independent woman? And how does it work?
I think there was like definitely some negotiating. I think because normally when I come home, I like kind of like being taken care of. It's nice, right?
Totally.
So, but that ends pretty quickly. Like we had like a little honeymoon phase, where I was super happy to be home and I missed them. And once that passed, I went through a period where everything they did annoyed me.
I'm going to my room.
And like somebody was like eating an apple and you're like, oh my God. You know? So like everything was just like getting under my skin. And then that period passed and I like loved them again. So
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I think it's been like just negotiating.
And
But
they must love
luckily
having.
they're pretty good about me being actually an adult.
Okay. And they
Um
must love having you.
I think they did.
Oh yeah, that's over too.
Yeah, we had a chat one day and I said, you know, this has been really hard. And she goes, my mom was like, yeah, this is really hard for us too.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Cool.
Now, I will say this, it's a little tough to hear. However, that probably means, and I am no therapist or psychiatrist, but that probably means they have a really good marriage, right? Like they like each other and they're having fun up there, and all of a sudden this throws them a little. Do you think there's truth to that?
Sure.
Okay.
No, they do. They love each other. It's funny. It is funny to watch them because I think they were in a really good place when I got here.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, I don't know. I think, I mean, they've been married for, gosh, over 30 years. They love each other. And I'm very blessed to be coming into like a super healthy situation at home.
Sure.
But yeah, there's lots of love, but they're very different people. So I watched that happen as well.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, at least you have your own room to go to. That's it.
Totally. And it's like a happy family. I'm really blessed. Like it's
No,
not,
I know.
I really can't complain.
No, believe me. And I see your posts on social media when you talk about your parents and your dad and all that.
They're funny though. Funny.
They seem to be very funny. You had a wine walk at one point. Weren't you guys walking and drinking some wine?
Our entire, like, we had to do a 14-day, like, full-on quarantine when we got home because we crossed the border.
Okay.
And I think we had a lot of alcohol.
I love it. Well, I think that's cleansing, right? If you got a quarantine.
Just those 2 weeks. Like, we totally balanced out. We're, like,
okay.
people. But, yeah, it was Thanksgiving, I think. We, like, took wine and went for a walk.
I love it. I love it. Very well. And I'm envious because I'm still in New York, and so I see you out. You know, so many people online. You see, like out in the neighborhood. You're like, oh God, just to be able to walk outside looks nice.
I can't even imagine how cooped up you must feel because that's like for me to get out for a walk is like the only thing that really helps. It's good to get outside.
It's just you get scared, you know. You just hear the news and you see the news and you go like, of course you can go outside and walk with a mask and everything, but you're just, you're scared to go outside in New York as it is. So let alone with
you didn't really need this extra level. It was already enough.
The nerves of all.
It was already hard. Why are you making it harder?
Now, when we actually started this recording late because you were busy, which is nice to hear.
But like busy is like not actually the word, but sure. Busy with quotation marks around it.
Isn't that weird how you have one thing to do all day and then all of a sudden you're late for it?
And your schedule's packed. Oh, I can't. I'm so busy today.
But tell us what you were doing. What were you were out playing some tennis?
Yes, and just like me against a wall. So like not actually real mat.
The ultimate in solitude.
Yeah, for real. And like I'm back at like my elementary school, so it's like super precious. And humbling.
That is adorable.
Yeah. And also I hadn't played tennis in like about a decade.
Okay.
So the first time I played, I don't know if you saw, I posted on Instagram, but I was so out of shape. I still am out of shape. I don't know why I'm talking in past tense. I was like, this is so hard. Why do people do this?
Well, there was a great old comedian, Mitch Hedberg. I don't know if you know, but he used to say, tennis is it's frustrating because no matter how good you get, you can never beat the wall. And that was
relenting. And I think almost like the worse you are, the better exercise you get.
You're running around
the whole parking lot trying to get the balls that you've missed and like somehow lobbed off the wall. So I'm getting a really good workout. My tennis is not getting any better. Just
chasing balls. I bet it's quite a sight to see. Just this.
I'm so glad I'm alone. This is the one time like the pride just goes away because no one's around.
That is just. Are you like in a tennis outfit? Are you trying to like look the part and then you're just out there terrible? Or
I like love any situation where I can buy clothes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Somebody asked me like, "Well, do you like sports?" And I said, I like sports, but I need an outfit and I need snacks.
exactly.
My like big, I like to go to live sporting events, but I like want to have a cute outfit to
Gotta
wear.
get the
And I want
outfit.
people to buy me snacks while I'm there, or I need to bring snacks with me or whatever. It doesn't matter.
Right,
But
right.
like, so, that's basically anytime I'm taking on a new endeavor, like that's what I'm looking at. So
Yeah,
that's actually the reason why I started tennis when I was young as well.
for the
We
outfits.
would be shopping and I'd find all these cute tennis dresses. And I mean like really young. And my mom would be like, I'm not buying you that. You don't play tennis.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, I'll play tennis.
Well, I'm gonna start.
So yeah, I pulled out the old tennis skirt.
Oh, that is
And
just,
yeah, so I look cute
yeah.
running around chasing after balls and trying to find them in the grass.
That is excellent. I mean, we're all out of shape. We're all, not moving enough and everything. And it's a little stunning, isn't it? Because every time I try to do something, like, all right, I mean, it's what you lose and how quickly you lose it. Not that I was in any kind of shape when this started, but I mean, it's eye-opening, right?
It is like, I think especially in New York, you walk everywhere.
Yeah.
So even just that, and then
Yeah.
also the gym's closing, that was
Right.
huge.
Right.
And it's hard enough to get motivation to go to the gym, but when
Yeah.
you take that away, it's like, I'm not a home workouter person.
Right.
Like I'll set myself up and I'll lay on the yoga mat for the hour.
I the very same way. I had one thing that was like, work out with a can of beans or something. Next thing you know, I was just eating the beans. It's just like, I can't. I'm not doing this.
Like water bottles and you drink it so it's a little bit lighter,
No, it's gonna be, and I think I have to like do something quick because it's starting to feel like. I mean, hopefully, I know things are slowly opening, but it's starting to feel like this could be going on for quite some time.
Crazy. Yeah, I didn't. Everything was really fine when it was like a month, 2 weeks a
Right.
month, right?
Right.
Like, a nice break. We all get a break.
Enjoy this time, right?
I think especially like because like New York is such a hustle, so
Right.
it was great to slow down. I think it's healthy for people to do
Totally.
that. But yeah, this is way longer, and it's so hard to keep yourself in a motivated state of mind.
Totally. Yeah, no, that's exactly it. You go, okay. I always say, like, I knew if I had a deadline, if I had a date, it's over, we're all done. 100%, let's knock this out of the park. And you're never going to have this time again. But now it's just like, you were making what? Wooden spoons? What are you making up there?
I'm like, anything to pass the time, right? My dad does carpentry work. So
Oh, cool.
I think they were like, wow, she seems really depressed. Let's get her doing something.
Give her a project.
Yeah, do you want to come help me? So I did. I spent we made all of these wooden spoons by hand.
Right.
And
for any particular, like, to use in the kitchen or just
my mom needed them. She'd broken hers, so we started. He had made her one, and I was kind of like, hey, that's pretty cool.
Okay.
So the most left field hobbies ever.
Yeah.
For me right now. Yeah, it was cool. We made I made I think 2 by hand, 2 spoons by hands, and then we made charcuterie boards.
Hey, well, now we're talking.
Yeah.
That's kind of fun. Have you used your work yet? Have you actually eaten off of it?
Yes, we have, but we haven't found the right sealant. So we tried first just a food safe oil, and then when you wash it, you have to it doesn't feel right.
If that's that.
Sand it down again and restain it.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find. I don't know if you have any suggestions.
I don't, but I have the exact same thing. I had someone who had made a friend made a charcuterie board, and it was the same thing. They were saying, well, it doesn't have. So I'm actually curious.
That makes me feel better. Thank you.
But we've both been very busy, so we don't have time to look into how to seal this thing. I was told
my dad basically, I wouldn't have done any of that without him.
Well, that's
I just went down and I was like, what do I do next? Now what do I do?
It reminded me of, it was like a year ago or something. I think you had this funny story on Instagram that was about you assembling some shells or something. And it always made me laugh because you were like real-time updates. Here's what's happening. Your dad's helping you from Canada. And then the very last, I'm sure I'm butchering how it went, but the very last thing was just you getting a drink, so going out for cocktail hour.
I was going to build a dresser, and I bought it from Wayfair. It was all good, but it was it wasn't any real wood, but it was very, very thin,
right?
Very thin. I don't know, plywood.
Right.
And clearly, I have such a knowledge base. With nails, and you had to put it together. It wasn't pre-drilled.
Oh wow.
and I have a power drill in my apartment in New York, and I had like a hammer. So I had to like build. I was like, how are normal people doing this? I couldn't believe it. But yeah, so the whole Snapchat was like the first. It took me like an hour to catalog the pieces. I took all the pieces out of the box. I was building it. I was like, how is anyone doing this? And then like halfway through, a friend of mine was like, hey, do you want to go to happy hour?
Perfect.
And I just like left everything and I went to happy hour and I came back at like, I don't know, 11 o'clock at night, a little bit tipsy, and like finished the project.
And you nailed it.
Yeah, that's the solution. Maybe you just need like a little bit.
That is.
Relax and like let it do its thing.
I completely agree with that. Anytime there's a manual task, you're like, this sucks. And then all of a sudden you wake up and it's done. You're like, oh, okay, I guess I did.
Basically, I woke up and it was finished.
That's amazing.
I also like hung a mirror. Like I called my dad. It was like, this is all after happy hour. So like, I mean, I wasn't drunk, but I was like feeling nice.
No, you're in the zone.
Yeah. And I like called him and I was like, hey, like I finished making the dresser. I want to hang a mirror. Can you help me? And he like talked me through it. He's like, do you have a pencil? I was like, no, I have eyeliner. And I used eyeliner on the wall. Don't worry, it was washable. I took a makeup wipe, wiped it right off.
That's amazing.
He's like dying laughing at me. He's like, that's really not what you should do. I hung the mirror, nothing broke.
Hey.
Went to bed, woke up, everything looked beautiful.
And it's together. See, and look at you today. Now you're making spoons.
Yep. Here you go.
Now, what do you have while you're home? Do you have friends, local friends still at all from your town, or?
I don't have much. I have a few. Mostly my friends are in New York or like from ships, so they're like international.
Right.
And it's funny because usually when I come home, I kind of don't tell anybody, and I use that as almost like a social hiatus.
Totally, sneak into town.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm so extroverted, but I like my alone time.
Yeah.
So when I'm like away from the city, like I take it as like almost like a cleanse, I think.
Totally.
Come home and you just like lay low.
Yeah. Consider yourself cleansed though. You're done.
Yeah, right? I'm like cleansed.
We're clean.
I'm like lonely now.
Have you done? I know some people have like looked up online the old high school boyfriend, or have you done any of that poking around?
I haven't been that desperate.
That sounded specific.
That was quite specific. That's so funny.
Oh my god! Yeah, no. I know people who are like, especially like just they're way back in another state in the Midwest that they have, and they're just like, oh, whatever happened to that guy?
What do you do after that? So you like look them up, you like start talking again, everything's cute, and then like you go back to New York and you have to date this guy from the Midwest?
It's a very good question.
It's just too practical for that, I think.
That doesn't sound logistically like the best move. Well, and I saw something that Ashley Madison is that like that dating, or I think it's like an affair website or something. They were saying like their numbers have doubled or tripled during this isolation, but it's like,
if it's an affair website, how are you doing that?
That's exactly what I don't. People are just having these virtual affairs, I guess. And I'm with you. I was like, not that I'm in the market for that, but what? You're starting a relationship where you can't physically see the person?
Well, that was like a thing. I think when this all started, because I'm on like the dating apps.
Yeah.
And plural.
Just right down the line.
I'm only on one, but there was a point where I was in multiple. And like, people were really like being very, very active on these apps.
Okay.
When this all started, I think because they finally had the time,
Oh, okay.
Or they were like recognizing their loneliness. I don't know. And then like about 2 weeks, 3 weeks in, like it was like, we can't keep this up.
Yeah, we're pen pals. It's like
a lot of talking.
Like being in prison.
He was so nice, but he kept messaging me like, hey, what's new? And I was like, nothing. I have nothing to tell you.
I've never meant that more. Absolutely nothing. Now that was this
stories to tell you. I have nothing to tell you.
Yeah, literally. Now we're talking back home in Canada. People from there, or people from New York that you had matched with?
People from New York, yeah, because my apps are all set.
Yeah.
I don't date in Canada really, although I should, because people are nice here.
Yeah, well, it's going to be interesting. I mean, when and how this all ends, and who. I mean, do you have any thoughts at all about what you might do? Come back to New York, or I mean.
My lease is up soon, so I have to come back no matter what, just to get to either like make the choice and move my stuff out of my apartment or like find a new place or whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
it is weird. I think especially in entertainment, like
Yeah.
my jobs won't be starting back up. Is there going to be auditions? You know, it's a lot of uncertainties, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back.
Yeah.
There's just nothing for me here.
Yeah. You're not going to open the Spoon Wood Shop there
No,
and start.
yeah. No. This is such a good idea.
Yeah.
It's like any new skill that I got while I was home. Everyone's like, "Ooh, side hustle, side
Right.
business."
Right.
And like, you don't understand. It takes me like 14 hours to make one spoon.
To make
So that's
spoon.
$150 spoon. Or like I was baking cookies and they look beautiful, but I'm like, it takes me like 6 hours to decorate a cookie.
And I have to get drunk to finish them.
Yeah. Not really economical. So anyone wants to hire me to make wooden spoons in New York, here. But it takes me forever and I need lots of guidance.
You have to call your dad 6 times.
What a resume builder.
Well, it would be a unique show and kind of different. All these people who are so good at cooking, you know, and the wood shop. Yeah, you'd be the opposite.
It just takes me a long time.
Well, sadly, we have time right now, but I hope and pray that's not the case. I can say this: New York misses you. You're always such a bright spot, and so fun to have in this city. Hope it's not too long before we get to see you back here.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, be nice to your parents.
Trying, I swear I'm trying.
We love you so much, and thank you all for listening. And hopefully, we're not doing another chicken in 3 months where we're.
Sorry, I just had a flashback, and I'm gonna have nightmares.
Thanks for listening, everybody. Greetings from Somerville. We will talk to you next time.